Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today's tutorial is on a beanie. It is a crocheted beanie, and it is called Lift You Up. Why? Because everybody needs to be lifted up every once in a while. All right, so for today's tutorial, I am using Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling, and it is a 4-weight. It's 100% anti-pilling acrylic, machine wash, warm, tumble dry, normal, deep sea heather is the color. And the lot number was 3048. All right. So you will need a needle to sew in your ends. You will need a stitch marker to show the beginning and end of the round, pair of scissors to cut away from your ball of yarn, and a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. For some of you, you may need to go up to a 6 or maybe even a 7. It is completely up to you and how you feel. We're going to start out at the top of the crown. We're going to do several increased rounds until we are to a specific number. And then we will do a setup round, the pattern, and then the brim. So since I already have this one done, I'm going to work up the crown, all the increases, the setup round, then I will go over your repeats for your pattern, and then I'll jump right into the brim. So here we are. This is what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to begin with a chain 4 and slip stitch to the very first chain to start working in the round. You can do a magic loop or magic circle if you so desire. This is just how I will be starting. All right, so I'm going to set this out of the way and we will begin. Start with a slip knot on my hook and I will chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm just going to slip stitch to that very first chain to create a ring. Now I'm going to be working 10 double crochets into this ring here. Now, as I have said in all of my previous tutorials where I'm working doubles, I'm going to show you how I start the round. You do not have to do it this way. You are welcome to just chain up 2 or 3, whichever you prefer to do. But I'm going to show you how I start with a mock double crochet. All right, so I take my loop that's on my hook, I pull it up, I place my finger on the hook so it's holding it steady. Now the loop on my hook is about the height of a double crochet. Now I take my hook and I bring it towards me, not letting go of that loop on there. Bring it towards me, down below the loop, and around it. So that gives me 2 loops on my hook, the same as a double crochet. So now I'm going to go into the ring on the chain 4 here. I'm going into that ring, yarning over, and I'm pulling up a loop. There's our 3 loops for our complete double crochet. We're going to yarn over. I haven't let go of that original loop. We're going to yarn over and go through 2, then yarn over and go through the last 2. So now you take your stitch marker and you place your stitch marker at the top of that mock double crochet. Just like such. And there you have your first double crochet. Now, as I said, if you want to chain 2 or 3 for your starting chain every round, that's entirely up to you. But this is how I will be working my first double crochet of the round every round. All right, now we're going to move into round 1. You're going to go ahead and continue to work around this ring by placing 9 more double crochets. So with your starting chain or your mock double crochet, you should have a total of 10 double crochets at the end of round 1. You're going to slip stitch to the top of your chain or mock double crochet to complete the round. I will meet up with you at the end of the 10 double crochets. All right, at the end of round 1, you have 10 double crochets. We're going to slip stitch to that very first of the round and pull it up. Now you can draw the tail of your either magic circle or working over your tail on those double crochets. You can pull that tight at this point if you would like. You will have to sew it in later. All right, we're going to move on to round 2. And I see where I have dropped a strand here. Okay, so for round 2, it is 2 double crochets in every stitch. So we're jumping from 10 to 20 double crochets, including your first chain or mock double crochet, whichever you end up deciding to do. All right, so I'm going to place another one in that same stitch, 2 in the next, and repeat all the way around. 2 in every single stitch. I'll meet up with you at the end where we slip stitch to that very first stitch to complete round 2. All right, down here at the end of round 2, I'm just going to slip stitch to that very first stitch to complete round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to increase to 30 stitches. So either your starting chain or your mock double crochet into that first stitch, replace the stitch marker, and place 1 more double crochet into that very first stitch. 1 double crochet into the next stitch. This begins our repeat. And 2 double crochets into the following stitch. Again, your repeat is 1 double crochet into the next stitch and 2 double crochets into the following stitch. So we're going to go ahead and work that all the way around. And when you have reached the end of round 3 with 30 double crochets, including your first stitch, you're going to slip stitch to that first stitch and we will begin round 4. All right, so you should end round 3 with 1 single crochet by itself because we started with 2. And our last is 2 in 1 stitch and 1 by itself. All right, slip stitch to that very first stitch to complete round 3 with 30 stitches in the round. Let's begin round 4. You can begin round 4 again with either a chain up or a mock double crochet. Then you're going to place a second double crochet back into that same stitch. There we go. Get some more yarn here. All right, now you're going to place one single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. This is your repeat. So 1 and 2. And you're going to place 2 double crochets into the following stitch. That's your repeat. 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And 2 double crochets into the following. Now you're going to repeat that all the way around. At the end of round 4, you will have 40 double crochets, including your first stitch. Now you will be ending the round with 2 double crochets by themselves. I'll meet up with you at the end of round 4. All right, let's begin round 5. We have this round and one more round of increases. So we will have round 5 and round 6 are both increasing rounds, and then we start with our body of the beanie. All right, so the increase for round 5 is start with either your mock double crochet or your chain and place a double crochet back into that same stitch. And then you're going to place 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. This is the beginning of our repeat for round 5. Now place 2 double crochets into the following stitch. Right? So 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And then 2 double crochets into the following stitch. And that is your repeat for round 5. You will end round 5 with a series of 3 double crochets that are separated, and then slip stitch to the very first stitch to end the round. I'll be back with you at that point, and we will do our last increasing round together. All right, so at the end of round 5, you should have a total of 50 double crochets. We're going to begin round 6 now, starting the same exact way. We are going to begin with either a mock double crochet or your chain up. Place the stitch marker back, and 1 more double crochet into that same stitch. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here we are. We've got 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to repeat 2 double crochets into the next. 1 and 2. And then 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So you're going to end round 6 with 4 double crochets into their own stitch, and then slip stitch to complete the round. So here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you will end the round. You should have a total of 60 double crochets. After I've completed round 6, I'll meet back up with you and we will begin the body of the hat. All right, now that you have 6 rounds here completed and each of them have their increases, you have 60 stitches. Now we're going to begin the setup round. So you see where these eyelets are here? That's the round we're at. All right, so to begin round 7, our setup round for the body, we are going to do either the chainless mock double crochet, or you will chain up for a double crochet. Replace the stitch marker. There we go. And now 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. Now let's begin our repeat. Chain 1, skip 1, and 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. That is your repeat for round 7. Chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Go ahead and complete round 7 by slip stitching to the top of your first double crochet when you make it all the way around. You will have these chain 1 spaces all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you. When you get to the end of round 7, you will have 1 remaining stitch here, and you just chain 1, skip that 1, and slip stitch to the very first stitch. There we go. Now let's go ahead and count those eyelets, just so that way you know how many. So 15 chain 1 spaces. All right, so the next 2 rounds, rounds 8 and 9, you're going to repeat 8 and 9 for as many times as you so choose. So for rounds 8 and 9, I have 1, let's see here, 1, 2, 3 repeats of rounds 8 and 9. So let's go ahead and begin round 8. All right, so round 8 is it's a crisscross round. We have a lot of crisscrosses going on. So what we need to do is slip over to this middle stitch right here. So I'm just going to go over here and slip stitch to it like that. And now we're going to do a front post double crochet around that stitch. Now, if you are not doing the mock double crochet, you can still reach around behind it, pull up a loop, and then chain up from there. You are more than welcome to do that way. That will go ahead and bring that forward as a front post. For those of us that are doing the mock double crochet, you're gonna do exactly the same, but just do a front post double crochet. Instead of going into the top of the stitch, do front post double crochet. And that is the first stitch of round 8. Now what we're going to do is our crisscross. So we're gonna skip the next stitch, the next chain 1 space, and we're gonna double crochet into the top of the following double crochet. So that's the first of the next group of 3. So here we are, we have this chain 1 here, we're skipping it, and we're gonna go into that very first double crochet of your next group of 3 double crochets. And double crochet. Now you're gonna chain 1 and go back to that skipped double crochet. So your chain 1, you have right over the top of the chain 1 below, and we're going to go back to that first skipped double crochet and double crochet into that stitch. And now we're going to start back in the right direction here and front post double crochet that center double crochet. So this is our repeat. And if you look at your double crochets, your groups of double crochets, the center one will be your front post double crochet. These on each side are going to be part of a crisscross over the top of this eyelet. Okay, so here we're coming up, we have a double crochet, a chain one, and a double crochet. We're going to double crochet into the double crochet to the left of the chain one space, chain one to match the chain one we skipped. Now double crochet into the first double crochet on the right side of the chain one space. All right, now we're going to jump back over to this group of 3. Our first double crochet is worked. We need to go and work this middle one, which is a front post double crochet. All right, so now we do that again. We're going to crisscross stitch over the top of that chain one space with a chain one. So skip your double crochet, skip your chain, double crochet into the following, chain one, and double crochet back into that skipped double crochet. All right, you're going to repeat that all the way around for round 8, and I'll meet back up with you for round 9. All right, once you've reached the end of round 8, we need to slip stitch to that very first stitch to complete the round. All right, so what we're going to be doing for round 9 is front post that very first stitch. So whether you're chaining around it or you're doing the mock double crochet around it, we are making it a front post double crochet right off the bat. We want it to match the rest of the hat. Replace your stitch marker. And now we're simply going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So we have this crisscross and there's that chain space. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And I just place 1 into that chain space and then into the following double crochet. And now I'm going to reach over and front post double crochet the next front post double crochet, and that's repeated. 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, into that chain space, and the next double crochet. And then front post double crochet, the front post double crochet. And that's continued all the way around. All of your front post will continue to be front post throughout the pattern and into the ribbing. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and finish this round. I'll meet back up with you and get you started on the next round. Round 10. All right, there's only one small difference between round 8 and round 10. The only difference is instead of working over the box, that open window here, the crisscross working over the top of that, the only difference is it now will be worked over these 3 stitches. So it's still 3 stitches. You still will have a crisscross and a chain 1. But from this point out, it's worked over the top of 3 double crochets instead of that open square here. All right, so our very first stitch is a front post double crochet. So I'm gonna get that started. Now this is round 10. I'm just gonna show you how to get started for round 10. And then I'm gonna back out and start the ribbing part of this hat for you. As I said, I already had one done, and I don't have much of this scrap ball, so I don't want to start a new ball of yarn just for something that'll get ripped back out. All right, so we have our first double crochet here, which is a front post double crochet. Now we have our 3 double crochets together. The next 3 stitches, we are going to work an X stitch with a chain 1. So we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet into the following, chain 1, and double crochet the first skip stitch. So we've worked all 3 of those stitches. Now we need to do a front post double crochet around the front post double crochet. To complete that repeat. All right, let's do that repeat one more time. We're going to be working over the next 3 stitches. We're going to double crochet into the 3rd double crochet of that group. So skip 1 and 2 and double crochet into the next. There we are. Chain 1, that's for that center stitch. And now double crochet into the first skipped stitch. And then front post double crochet, the front post double crochet. And that is all there is to the change between 8 and 10. But you're going to repeat those rows, those 2 repeating rows, rows 8 and 9, or 9 and 10 if you will, as long as you end where you have all the double crochets like this. You have groups of 3 and a front post double crochet. And I'll show you why now. I'm going to back out of this row 10 to show you how to do the ribbing. All right, so I ended on what would be row 9 if you're counting 8 and 9 as your repeats. I have a front post, and then I have 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. That is the row that I've ended with. You will repeat however wide you would like the body of your hat to be. That's how many times you will do your repeat. And then we will start this brim down at the bottom of that. So here we are, we're at the point where we're going to begin our brim. Your brim is super easy, and we're going to either chain or mock front post double crochet. That's first stitch. We're keeping the front post as front post, like that, and back post double crochet the next stitch. So very easy repeat, front post the front post, back post the back post on all of your rows after this. So front post, back post, front post, back post, and you will notice that this next front post is landing on front post from the pattern. All right, so back post, front post, back post. These are all double crochets, and front post. So we're just creating a ribbing. I'm going to bring over the other hat so you can see it again. So we're just creating a ribbing, and now I did 4 rounds just like that. Front post, the front post, back post, the back post, front post, back post. And I did that for 4 rounds. Now you can make your brim as wide as you would like. You could go 6 times around. You could do 10. You could do whatever you wish as far as the ribbing. So here I had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 rounds for this hat. So that's it, 17 rounds in total for this hat. You have your increases from 10 to 60, and then we have a couple setup rows, and then we start working repeats, and then a very easy 1-by-1 ribbing of front post and back post double crochet. If you have any questions about this or need a little bit more guidance on this particular pattern, or how I did something specific in this pattern, please reach out, comment down below. Let me know what you think of the hat. Did you like it? Are you making this hat? All right, so this hat will go into my bag for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach K&K Crochet. I will put that link down in the description box below. They set a goal every year for hats to donate, and I encourage you to go check them out. If you can't donate to K&K Crochet, Bumblebee Mountain Outreach, that is perfectly okay, but we do encourage you donate locally if you can. All right, everyone, so that is it for Lift You Up, because we all need a little lift up. All right, be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.